May December is one of those films that seems to have been made for movie critics. It's a complex character study built around an uncomfortable and peculiar situation. Yet the film drones on too long as you wait for something to grab your interest. And by the end, it's difficult to care much about any of these characters. Fortunately, the film features two of the best actresses in Hollywood, in Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman, and an up and coming young actor in Charles Melton delivering on his potential. All three give fantastic acting performances, which at least helps the film work as a nuanced character study. May December is set in lovely Savannah, Georgia, and tells the story of Gracie, played by Julianne Moore, and Joe, played by Charles Melton, a couple whose inappropriate and controversial relationship began when Joe was a 13-year-old student and Gracie was a 36-year-old teacher at his school. We learn that the initial scandal erupted in 1992 as their affair was exposed, leading to Gracie's arrest and imprisonment. Despite the public disapproval and legal repercussions, Gracie gives birth to Joe's child while serving her sentence. The film is set in a time 23 years later. Gracie and Joe are married with 3 children with a seemingly normal life on the surface. This life is then disrupted by the arrival of Elizabeth, played by Natalie Portman, an actress researching Gracie's role for an upcoming film about their infamous past. As Elizabeth starts to get to know them and delves deeper into their story, the film explores the emotional and psychological impact of the past on both Gracie and Joe. The presence of Elizabeth acts as a catalyst, forcing both Gracie and Joe to confront their past and reevaluate their narrative. Joe, in particular, starts to question their history, while Gracie seems to prefer living in the bubble that they've created around their life. As for Elizabeth, she seems obsessed with learning about Gracie's truths, as if she can really understand her, and also what it felt like to be her. She goes to the places where Gracie and Joe first connected, imagining what it was like. As she gets closer to Gracie and Joe, she crosses the line with a sexual encounter with Joe that rattles him. She starts to explain how she's trying to understand their story, while Joe blurts out that it's his real life, not just a story. In the end, Elizabeth ends up no closer to understanding Gracie, despite all of her method acting techniques. As mentioned above, the three leads are all fantastic here. Julianne Moore brings another unique character to life with Gracie, giving her an awkward and creepy feel. And Melton delivers an understated but impressive performance as Joe. But Natalie Portman really jumps out as the curious and calculating Elizabeth. Her monologue scene towards the end of the film is fantastic, as she seems so confident that she's captured the essence of Gracie. And her reaction at the end of the film to her last encounter with Gracie is also subtle and brilliant. This role offers a great preview of the amazing work we can expect from Natalie Portman now that she's in her 40s. Natalie looks amazing here, and a bit different with her bangs in many of the scenes. On the one hand, it's a bit surprising that none of these three performances were recognized with Oscar nominations, but that may be the result of the limitations of this film. The film offers an in-depth character study, but the narrative is lacking here. Critics loved the film, but audience weren't quite as impressed. One reader summed it up well, calling the film meandering and extremely slow. Another called it slow and pointless. That may be a bit harsh, but I found myself waiting for the film to end. There's no big payoff or reveal in this film. The lives of Gracie and Joe are built on a completely inappropriate foundation. Of course, at some point, these characters will have to grapple with that reality. Elizabeth serves as the catalyst here when she enters their lives, but everything that happens is predictable in some ways. Everything the director does here is understandable. The ending is intentionally ambiguous, and we need more complex, original dramas like this in Hollywood. That said, this is unfortunately an example where the acting far outshines the story. All the complexity and character nuances are great, but they don't land as well with a painfully slow and underwhelming narrative. For that reason, it's hard to recommend this film.